Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be working on my 2001 Toyota Camry, and we're going to be replacing the alternator because the old one is whining really bad and it's not charging properly. So I have a bunch of lights on the dash that I need to turn off. So let's get right into it. Alright, so the first step in replacing the alternator, I'm just going to be a little extra cautious and I'm going to undo the negative terminal of the battery. So this is a 10 mil, and then just take that off. Put that down so it doesn't touch. So we're going to come over here. So right here we have the alternator. We're going to need to get the belt off, and then this has one long bolt up here and then a tensioner and a bolt down here on the bottom. It's kind of hard to see. This is the tensioner, and then there's a bolt right there. So we do have this kind of AC cooler, like AC line in the way. So I'm going to undo this bracket right here. It's a little 10 mil. So it'll allow me to get just a little bit more, flexion, like a little bit more movability. Clearance. Yeah, clearance. So the next step is we got to get this kind of terminal on here off, and then this connector off, and it also is attached here. So under this little plastic cover is another 10. And the reason we're replacing this alternator is because it was whining really bad and not charging, so I gotta make sure this charges and runs fine because this is my daily. Okay, so we're just gonna undo the connector. There's a little clip on this side. You just push the connector in, push it down, and then pull it out. Connector does not look great, but I think it's just dielectric grease. So we're gonna get, this has a little tab that you have to pull out that way. It's kind of hard to see. There's a little tab in there. So I got my pocket pry bar. We're gonna just wedge that out. That comes off this little hook. So this whole entire connector can kind of get pushed out of the way. All right, now next step is we're gonna kind of crack this and the bottom bolt loose, and then we're gonna loosen the tensioner. Now take note of the direction the belt is on and how tight it is. So some of these Toyota engines like to be really tight. So you don't want to be able to go, don't want to be able to twist it more than halfway. So this is a pretty tight belt. Some of the Corollas have a very, very tight belt. So for that little bolt, that there should be 14s on the side. So you have this top 14. And then let's see if I can get to, is this the, looks like a 12 on the bottom. There we go. Okay, now we got to get to the side. So those are cracked loose, so okay, this should be able to get pushed down, but we need to loosen it up some more. All right, so we're just gonna loosen those, and we'll come back when the alternator is kind of pushed out of the way, and we can take the belt off. Okay, so we got the that tensioner bolt on the bottom loosened. It's gotta go quite a ways. So the belt should be loose enough to kind of take off. We're just gonna kind of drop it down a little bit. We don't need it all the way out of the way. So now we're just gonna take the top bolt all the way out. And then for the bottom bolt, I think we're probably going to need a longer socket, like a deep socket. It's 12, because the tensioner moved it quite a ways out of the way. Actually, let's see, I might be able to do it with a wrench. Oh, I think it's hand loose, so should be able to just. I know this might not be the best visuals, but
there's not a lot of space in there to work with, really.
Definitely a tight work area. Okay, so. This is the bottom bolt, I believe. This should. Usually you'd have to put a pry bar right here because it has a little bit of an end that gets pulled into the block. But on this one, it looks like it doesn't actually get pulled in, so it's a nice, easy removal. And then we're gonna have to kind of finagle it out of here. Kind of bend some stuff. Let's see, I'm gonna take this off. And then this is gonna come off of this piece. Give me a little bit extra room. All right, got the old one out. This piece did have to be bent down for us to have enough room. And there are some other plugs down there you can undo and get a little bit more slack, but if we come over to the table, see the new alternator. We're gonna just compare them real quick. So this piece needs to be swapped over. This nut needs to be taken off. It's the same connector, same on the back side. Looks like it's similar sized pulley. Very, very close. Looks like it might be
different.
Looks like it might be slightly larger, but we can always just set the belt tension differently. The belt should still fit on. This was the cheapest one I could find. I actually work at a toy dealership, and to get a OEM replacement it would take about a day, and it was $230, and then another $75 core charge. So it was like a little over $300. This one was $123, and then a like $75 core charge. So this was like a little bit this was about $200 with a core charge. So yeah, the pulley should be fine. So we're gonna go ahead and put this one in after we switch this over.
Can you
Just
change the pulleys up?
You can, but I'm not going to.
Alright.
'Cause I don't want to take this apart. Because it's just the bolt on the end, but I'm not sure if that, like, I'm not sure what torque it's supposed to be set to, and there's like a little bit of play, so I don't want to, like, there's no play, and I don't know, like, so we're just gonna leave the pulley as it is. So let's get this swapped over, and then we'll show you putting it back in. All right, so now it's just kind of a lot of reverse order. So this has got to go in that space. See if I can get it in there without damaging anything. Alrighty, cool. So it'll probably be the easiest on this one to get the top mounted up first. That is a little kind of snug on there, so I'm just gonna inch it along with the pry bar. Alrighty. Now the bottom one is going to be probably pretty hard to show, just because of the orientation. And there's like kind of like a little floating block that I have to match up. You can kind of see it there. Kind of hard to see, but there's a little block there. That little block there, that's where it kind of bolts to. So it's gonna be kind of hard to show, but I'm just gonna go ahead and put the bolt through there, and then kind of start hand threading them down so they're not quite fully snug. Then we're gonna put the belt back on, and then we're gonna tighten the tensioner bolt. I'll show you what tension the belt should be at, and then we can tighten down the bolts on the side. So let's get in there. See if I can get my hand all the way down there. Alrighty, so I'm gonna need a wrench. All right, so we're going to come back when those are both kind of tightened down. Not quite fully snug, just like half turn, because we do have to set the tension on the belt. Okay, so we have the alternator reinstalled. If you go ahead and look down here, we still need to put on the plugs and everything. The bracket we just kind of left off. Whatever. So the belt, you want to be able to make it about halfway before and like have that really hard to do. So you want these belts pretty tight. Make sure it's in the grooves of everything. So this upper 14 is going to go to 38 foot-pounds. Okay. Don't know why it's not going to. Oh, I think I might have. No, that seems about right. Oh. All right. Yep, that's definitely enough. And then the bottom bolt is going to go to 13 foot-pounds. Let me just. Yeah, 16 foot-pounds is good enough. All right, so basically the last thing we have is we just have this little bracket that's going to go back in here like that. This is got to get bolted back on here like that. This has to get bolted back on here, and then the connector has got to get plugged back in. So this has just a little this little nut on top, and this is usually like 80 inch-pounds or something, like 74 inch-pounds or something. So just kind of, yeah, just this is not super tight, not super loose. That's good enough. And then put this bottom plug on, make sure it clicks into place. We got these two bolts up here. Okay, it's all solid. We just gotta put this one on. What? Oh yeah, I forgot I took this off, so that clips back on like that. All right, so last step. Put on the negative battery terminal. Tighten this down. Oh, shit. Okay, it's nice and tight. When you take off the battery terminal, that's basically going to do a hard reset, so you're not going to have any lights anymore, or at least you shouldn't, unless they're like permanent codes. So I'm going to see, where's the keys? I'm going to start the car real quick, and I'll show you the belt running. Make sure, you don't want to you want to start it up, make sure there's no, squeaking or squealing or anything of the belt. So if you come over here, there's no squealing. It looks nice and smooth. Everything's torqued down, and it should be good to go. So thank you guys for watching this video. We have a couple of other videos on this car, as long as a bunch of other cars. Please go check those out. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.